Are you thinking of becoming a real estate agent? Maybe you're studying for your license right now and you're trying to figure out whether or not this is the right career choice for you. In this video, I'm gonna weigh the pros and the cons of being a real estate agent. I've been doing this for 7 years, and so I understand all the ins and outs of what it takes to be a successful agent. And so in this video, I am not going to hold back. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, the truth about what it means to be a realtor in 2021. What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Danny Gould. I'm the CEO of the Selling Silicon Valley Group. I help people buy and sell homes here in the Bay Area. And last year, to give you a little context, we did a little over $30 million in real estate sales. We're about $50,000 short of $1 million GCI. This year, we are well on pace to hit our goal of 75 families served and $75 million in sales volume. And so over the last 7 years that I've been a licensed real estate agent, I have seen a lot of agents come in and fizzle out. And I've seen a lot of agents come in and absolutely crush it. And so I understand what it takes to become a successful agent, the pitfalls, things to avoid. And in today's video, what I want to focus on are the pros and the cons of becoming a realtor, because I think everyone who is thinking about it, they're on the fence, maybe they're studying, or maybe they're getting into it, maybe they're already licensed. They're just trying to figure out whether or not this is the right career move for you. Before we get into the pros and the cons, if you're currently studying for your real estate license or you're already licensed, you're a new agent, you're trying to figure things out on your own, you can actually click the link below in the description. I host a weekly mastermind training for new agents just like yourself. It's absolutely free. So register at the link down below, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next call. All right, so let's get into the pros and the cons. Now I have to say this video is gonna be a little bit biased because I absolutely love being a real estate agent. Even more than that, I absolutely love being a real estate team leader. And so I enjoy seeing my agents grow, and I really love this business, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else for the foreseeable future. And so clearly all the pros and the cons, I mean, it's going to be heavily skewed towards pros because I absolutely love this job and I absolutely love this career. It's not really a job, it's a career, right? And so I want to preface all the pros and the cons by just saying you're getting this from a biased source, and anyone who's fizzled out or flamed out of real estate is going to have a completely contrary view to this. But I'm going to get into some of the cons and why a lot of those cons end up in people failing out of this business. So stay tuned. All right, so let's get into the first pro. Obviously, everyone gets into real estate for the freedom that it enables them to have. And so making your own hours is the first pro of being a real estate agent. Now, obviously, you aren't going to succeed in real estate if you don't put in the work, but it does allow you to be flexible, especially if you are a solo agent. You don't have anyone to answer to except for your clients. And if you aren't careful, they will keep you up at all hours of the night. And so setting your own hours also means knowing how to set up those boundaries. But the great news is that you can work at your own schedule. If you're a night owl, great, be the night owl. You can work from noon to 10 if you want. If you are an early riser, like myself, you can wake up at 5 and be done by 3 p.m. I don't do that, but what I'm saying is that you can be done by 3 p.m. if that's what you really want to do. The second pro of being a real estate agent ties in really nicely with the flexible hours, which is being able to work or having a flexible working environment. You don't have to be stuffed up in a cubicle all day long. As a realtor, one of the great things is you can go out and do a lot of different things. I remember when I was first starting in real estate, I would go on all of these tours. I'd go see all these multi-million fancy luxury homes. I would show a lot of buyers' property. And so I was driving a lot. I was seeing a lot of cool houses. And I quickly realized that a lot of that was a huge waste of time. And if you hop on my masterminds and everything like that, I'll explain to you why I feel that way. But really, if you're working with a lot of buyers, you're going to be spending a lot of time in the car. You're going to be showing a lot of property, and it's fun. And there's not a lot of office time in all of that. Now, for every couple pros, there is a con. And one of the biggest cons to being in real estate or getting started as a real estate agent are the upstart costs of being a realtor. You see, real estate isn't really one of those careers that you can start with zero money. I mean, I started with zero money, but I was lucky enough to get a loan from my family in order to start in real estate. And it's not cheap. It's very expensive to start as a realtor. Number one, let's start with your licensing fees. You need to sign up for the real estate licensing courses, and you also need to sign up for the state exam. And then you got to pay for all of the licensing fees associated once you pass your exam. Then once you're done with that, you need to pay some sort of desk fee or something to your broker. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to that. There are some brokerages that don't charge desk fees or startup fees or anything like that, but you should also be really weary of those brokers. And I've talked about that in previous videos where you get what you pay for. And surrounding yourself in an environment where people are going because they have to pay less, those are usually not very high achievers. And so you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of losers as opposed to a bunch of winners. And so you want to surround yourself with winners. You got to pay to play, and you're going to get what you pay for. Make sense? And there are other fees associated with becoming a real estate agent. There are MLS fees. There are fees associated with becoming a realtor, because a realtor is actually a designation that you pay for. See, real estate agents aren't realtors. Realtor is a designation that you have to pay for to the National Association of Realtors, which is going to cost you even more money. And so when you tally up all of the initial expenses, I would recommend having at least $5,000 saved up in order to start in real estate. And for a lot of people, that is a non-starter, especially when you consider the fact that the failure rate in real estate is well above 90%. Most agents simply don't make it. And so if you're going to get into it and you're going to pay all this money to become a real estate agent, you better make sure that it's what you really want to do. But if you really want to do it, don't let the money get in the way of getting into real estate. There's always a way to make it. While you're studying for your license, maybe you can work as an assistant for a local real estate agent that needs a part-time assistant. And in those 6 months, you're learning all about the business while making money and studying for your license at night. But you gotta hustle, right? So there are ways to overcome the financial challenges and the financial hurdle that it takes to become a real estate agent. Speaking of money, one of the biggest pros of real estate is the fact that you can directly control your income. As a real estate agent, you actually don't get paid a salary. You are going to be 100% commission based. And that is a huge blessing, also a huge curse, because you wake up every morning unemployed. That's one of my favorite things in the world. Every single morning I wake up unemployed and I need to go make my paycheck. The great news is that the more hours you put in, the more time you invest into your business, the more return you're ultimately going to see. And that's one of the biggest beauties of real estate, is that your income is directly controllable by your actions. If you want to work 20 hours a week, great. That's the kind of income that you're going to make. And if you want to work 80 hours a week, like I did at the beginning, when I was first getting into real estate, I was pounding the pavement because I was putting in the work. It's that activation energy to get you to that next level, to get you over the hump, and then boom, then you can sustain it later. But that initial investment of time is crucial to making sure that you're successful in real estate, and really being able to say at the end of the day, man, I laid it all on the line, and your income being equivalent to the output that you're putting, or the input that you're putting in. That income output is directly correlated to the input that you're putting in. And so it really is a beautiful thing. There is no hiding your work ethic in real estate. Your income is going to show exactly the kind of effort that you're putting in. Another beautiful pro of real estate is learning very tactical business skills. When I first got into real estate, I had no idea that real estate was actually a business and that I was going to learn how to be a good business person because I was in real estate. Like, I had no idea. I really had no idea that there are so many different facets of this business. And in order to be a successful real estate agent, you really have to master a lot of core concepts that are prevalent in any business, regardless of whether you're in real estate or if you're in software or if you're in merchandising or if you're in retail. I mean, all of those different industries share a lot of core principles and core tactics. And I've been able to learn a lot of those things. For example, marketing, sales, finances, training, accountability, team building, leadership structure, organizational structure, operations. I mean, all of these different things. And we're not even scratching the surface there, right? Like, all of these different facets of real estate you can explore as a real estate agent, and more so as a real estate team lead. These are all things that you are able to explore as an agent and have the capability or the ability to master, which is absolutely insane. And you get to do it all by showing people homes. I mean, like it's ridiculous. Like there are a lot more mundane industries that you could learn these types of things in, but you get to learn it in a very dynamic setting, which is really cool. So flipping over to another downside or con of being a real estate agent are the long hours. I know that if you're on this channel right now, chances are you're a high performer because you're trying to figure out what it's going to take to win. And what it takes to win is tenacity and effort. More than anything else, it really requires a lot of input from you, not just emotionally, but just in terms of overall time. And so being a real estate agent, being successful will require a large investment of your time. And there are going to be instances where you're negotiating later in the evening or early in the morning or on the weekends when you're used to hanging out with friends or hanging out with your family. Those hours will be infringed upon. Now, if you do a good job of setting boundaries up at the beginning of your relationship with your clients, maybe you'll be able to avoid a lot of those situations, but it will never be 100% unavoidable. And so long hours are a part of real estate. And it is something that you're going to have to come to terms with and accept if you're going to be successful in this business. Another advantage of being a real estate agent is that you're going to be able to learn the ins and outs of investing in real estate, especially if you are curious and you ask a lot of great questions and you work with people who invest in real estate. You'll be able to learn from them and even more importantly, learn from their mistakes. And that is one of the beautiful things of being a realtor, is getting to know the ins and outs of real estate investing so that you can set yourself up and your family up for a very frothy future if you just learn the basics. And by learning the basics, or by being a real estate agent, you're going to be able to learn those basics pretty quickly. Another beautiful thing of being a real estate agent are the tax deductions. As a self-employed individual, you are able to deduct quite a few things as you are going through your daily routine. I mean, a lot of food and meals that you share with clients, your gas, travel, a lot of things that normally most people can't expense, you're able to write off. And this is true with a lot of people who are self-employed, but as a real estate agent, I mean, pretty much almost every day you're out and about and you're doing things. And as you're doing real estate related activities, a lot of the stuff that you do can be deductible. Also, as a real estate professional, you can take unique advantage of tax laws that allow you to deduct certain things from investment property that most individuals cannot deduct. You're able to deduct 100% of a lot of things that you do for your investment property that most other investment property owners are not able to do. Now, flipping back over to another con, it is very true that real estate is an emotional roller coaster. And if you cannot control your emotions or do not have a good command over your emotions, you are going to get run out of this business very quickly. I can say that for the first few years of my career, I had a really difficult time handling the volume of just ups and downs and drama and client emotions and all of these different things. And eventually, as a real estate agent, you're going to come to a fork in the road. One fork in the road is quit. This is one path. And the other is stop giving a fuck. And so at some point, you're going to have to figure out whether you want to quit or whether you want to stop giving a fuck. And that's really hard to do because most people who get into real estate really truly care. And I know that it's hard, because when you care, it is very easy to get emotions involved in any situation. But at some point, you will have to learn how to detach yourself emotionally from any and all situations involving your clients. It doesn't mean that you have to not have a soul, right? I'm not telling you to not have a soul, but what I am telling you is that it is very common for real estate agents who are highly expressive and very caring individuals to have a few deals derail them mentally, derail their head game for months. And you do not want to be that person. So training yourself to avoid the ups and downs is something that will pay off in the long run and will ultimately result in you being a more successful real estate agent and will keep you in this business longer. On that same note, one of the biggest cons of being in real estate is the volume of rejection that you face as a salesperson every single day. You know, it's funny because when I got into real estate, I was 23-year-old kid. And, you know, I thought I was someone that I wasn't. You know, I was just a totally different individual back then. And when I started in real estate, I was a confident young man, but I didn't understand what it meant to be rejected daily and daily, over and over and over and over again. And so eventually it did take its toll. And on the same note as the highs and lows, some of those highs and lows are caused by rejection. And so again, learning to turn off the care button up here is going to eventually lead to a higher level of success for you. Great news is that learning how to overcome the fear of rejection and learning how to dive through the sea of no's to find that yes is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because once you learn how to do that, once you master it, and once it becomes a part of your soul, you will never be the same person again, let alone the same salesperson. You'll never be the same person again. And I remember, you know, there was a switch that flipped a few years into my real estate career, and all of a sudden I felt literally invincible. For the first time, I could go anywhere, talk to anyone and not care, and just not care what anyone thought of me, and just put myself out there. And it just opens up so many more avenues when you have that gift, because it truly is a gift, but it's a gift that you have to earn. You have to earn your stripes. And the only way to do it is to just talk to more people, face more rejection, dive through the sea of no's to get to that yes. And once you are able to do that systematically and without care, you are going to be a totally different, a newborn individual. Piggybacking off the last con is another advantage of being a real estate agent, which is it's a great networking opportunity. Now, obviously, if you have this fear of rejection, you're never going to be able to network. But in growing to be that new person and growing into the new person that you're going to become as a real estate agent, going to these different events and networking with people and learning more about who they are, their businesses, what they have to offer. And not only that, but networking with the clients that you're working with and building your sphere of influence beyond just the people that you know in your personal life, in your neighborhood, in your workplace, maybe your previous workplace, right? Now you have all of these clients that you're working with and all of these other people that you're meeting through real estate. It just completely broadens your horizons. And so it's a phenomenal way to make new connections all over. And finally, the last pro of being a realtor, the last real advantage of being a real estate agent is learning how to handle and deal with people. It's a very unspoken reality of real estate that we are part-time psychologists. Learning how to handle clients' emotions is incredibly valuable. And it's something that as real estate agents, we don't really realize when we get into real estate that like, wow, this is a very stressful time for a lot of people. And so with stressful times, you see people in a very different state. And I've had it happen to me time and time again, where a very normal person walks in the door and you meet with them and they seem perfectly normal, very happy-go-lucky. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the transaction, they turn into a completely different person. And so I have now learned how to handle a lot of those situations, but it takes a lot of time. And it's something that we also go over in our new agent training, which we host every single week. So again, you can click the link in the description down below to sign up for those weekly trainings. We go over personality profiling, how to talk to different personalities. And it's so powerful. It really is very powerful to learn how to talk to anyone and everyone in all sorts of different situations. And it's one of the advantages of being a realtor, because not everyone gets that opportunity to see people in the highest of high stress emotion situations and be able to find talking points with them and talk them off the ledge or talk them on the ledge, whatever they need to do. Just an incredible opportunity to dive into human psychology and learn how to interact with people and learn how to truly talk to people. If you guys have any questions about anything that I just talked about in this video, leave those questions down below. I will definitely be sure to answer any and all of your questions. And if you're this far into the video and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, give us a thumbs up. It really helps me out. This is Danny Gould and I'm selling Silicon Valley. I will catch all of you in the next video.